Advisor said as of this morning, the White House still believes that the threat of the virus in the United States is low.
Raising its global risk assessment for the coronavirus's spread and impact to very high, the same level as it's had for China since late January.
The unfolding coronavirus emergency. The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic with more than 118,000 cases across 114 countries.
Take a look at the S&P 500 over the last 3 years to put this drop in some kind of context. We've been talking about this is the fastest 12% loss in history.
Federal Reserve cutting interest rates by 50 basis points, making a surprise announcement of a 50 basis point rate cut. The Federal Reserve saying the coronavirus poses an evolving risk to economic activity, though the fundamentals of the U.S. economy remain strong.
And ticks on the S&P. That means the first circuit breaker
for whom the bell tolls
has been triggered.
Here's Savannah Guthrie.
And good morning, everybody. We're coming on the air with breaking news. This is the New York Stock Exchange. The trading day is just beginning on Wall Street, and there are fears that the Dow will drop and drop quickly, and we're already seeing that.
Right now, it looks like the Dow is down by about 6.9%. This is some massive pressure. If you haven't looked at your 401k over the last couple of weeks, I wouldn't recommend doing it today because just over the last 2 weeks, we had already seen the markets down by about 12%, a little more than that. Now you're adding declines of more than 7% today. Now,
Witness today. That was brutal.
Obviously brutal. I mean, the markets rushed toward a place to say we have to start handicapping the probabilities of a recession in this country.
Peter, on that note, what are you looking out for, the key triggers that would make you turn to be a bit more constructive, a bit more bullish again?
Well, I'm looking at the rates markets, and the rates markets have been singing a bearish tune for quite some time. The 10-year dipped to about 35 basis points.
That's the closing bell on Wall Street as we are watching the end of trading today. Right now, the Dow is settling down somewhere in the down 2,300 range, ending a grim day on Wall Street today. At one point, trading was even halted because of such a quick drop.
In the equity market, we open up with the S&P 500 down around about 8%, and that is where we will pause now for around about 15 minutes. We'll open back up. Your next circuit breaker will be around about 13% lower.
Level 1, which is where we are right now, we opened down about 8% on the S&P. We'll reopen 9:46 or so Eastern time here. That will halt trading for 15 minutes. Level 1 and level 2 will kick in at any point up until 3:25 p.m. Eastern time. After that, there is no trading halt unless you drop 20%.
Rebecca, we saw this circuit breaker kick in this morning. Trading resumed. It doesn't seem to have helped a whole lot. And then we got a move by the Fed as well. I know there's a lot to unpack there, but let's just start by what you make of this closing.
Well, this is a historic closing, down 10%. We have not seen that for a very long time in the markets. It will be the worst day this year, but the worst day for many years for stocks.
The moves in the bond market do not make sense. I mean, there's no way the U.S. 10-year note should move 0.5% in a day, let alone 28% in one day.
Affected for much longer than just a couple of months. And as you can see, the market is acting like the L shape may be more likely than the U shape. We'll see if that changes around. By the way, the V shape is gone. You notice nobody's arguing about a V shape.
Stocks, they fell hard again today. Economic fears and many unknowns rattling investors. The Dow falling another 1,300 points. It now closed below 20,000. The Dow is now down a mind-blowing 10,000 points from its all-time highs hit just last month. Let's put that in context. It took the Dow 103 years to first hit the 10,000 mark, and now we have lost 10,000 in fewer than 30 days. Trading was halted again today after we fell 7% in the afternoon, but the pause did not refresh. Selling continued, and the average return of an S&P 500 stock today was a loss of nearly 8%. Oil also crushed, falling 24%. Oil now at an 18-year low. Shares of Chevron, they took it hard, falling 22% today. This is nearly unprecedented. I think back to 9/11. I'm sure there were a few other times during war. What's your take?
The stock market has closed many times over the years, Brian, and during World War I for several months, during 9/11, but that's the stock market closing. The NYSE floor has not closed before and continued trading electronically independent. So this is a first. Another week open, but markets were down about 6%. Pershing Square, Bill Ackman did come on CNBC to declare a gradual shutdown was not working and that America needs what he calls a 30-day spring break. The emotional moment came when he said, I'm not going to kill my father. I went into lockdown almost a month ago to save my father's life. Lost in the interview was Mr. Ackman's insisted that he was a buyer of stocks, particularly of Hilton. That caused a lot of people a big surprise, but it was all lost. Bill Miller also came on our air saying that there were 4 great buying opportunities in his life. This was the 5th one here.